We saw 1917, and now we're going to talk about it.
It was good.
It was very good. So 1917 is an interesting one-off movie. Kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Saw a trailer for it while I was in the movie theater. I think we were going to watch Star Wars or something. I didn't even realize it was coming out. And I was like, that looks good.
Yeah.
I'll give it a watch. Gave it a watch. I was very impressed.
Yeah. It's a really good movie. It's a really interesting movie because it's a one-shot movie. Now, it's not actually a one-shot movie, but it is made to look like it is one-shot. So the camera never switches cameras. It's all shot from one single camera.
No, and that was an extremely interesting angle because, and I think as a viewer, it makes you feel, obviously you're not there, but it makes you feel more involved. Because you're following behind them. Yeah. You're walking next to them. They're going through the dead zone. And it's like you're following through the barbed wire. It's not like cutting angles and, oh, you're blowing up here. Let me just quickly change. And it's following through the whole entire storyline. Yeah. And it's an interesting movie because World War I, there's no doubt about it. One of the most brutal, devastating events. Death toll over 17 million. Yeah. And it's hard to tell that story.
It is hard to tell it, and the way that they did it was, it made you feel like you were there.
It definitely included, and this was something that was really interesting, the story that the director decided to go with. There's so many stories. It's based on a true story. Yeah. And there are so many stories one could go with through World War I. Right. Like big, huge, this is a crazy event that happened. And they decided, let's follow two boys on a 8-hour adventure. Right. And this is what it was like. Yeah.
But through that, you really did see what it was like because they go through different trenches and they go through the front line and then they go through the German front line and then there's parts where they run into the German in the plane and they try to save him and he attacks them and it's just how it was. Okay. And then you go through and they're about to attack and then you're in the trenches again and you have mortars falling and he's just running through the mortars and then you have in all honesty, it's probably how it really was. He saves everybody, and then he's like, now get out.
Goodbye.
You did it. Yeah. I don't care what you came through. You did your job. Mm-hmm. And that is literally like the military mindset. Like, this was your job. You did it. Now leave. Mm-hmm. Right?
A huge credit to the preparation for the... I'm trying to think of the proper way to word it. Just for the set. Yeah. The bodies. Mm-hmm. The decay. The destruction.
There's a lot of disturbing things in the movie that is not as disturbing as it really would have been in real life. They did a really, really good job, obviously, but when you're swimming over dead bodies to get out of a river, they did the best they could to capture that on camera because there's no real way.
There's no way to even get close.
But they did a really good job.
I think and we watched and read all the reviews, and we did a review on it a couple days ago. The lowest review was a 50. But all the remarks from the review were excellent. Right. Yeah. So you sit there like, how do you sit here and say, this was a great movie, it brought me into World War I loved it, and then give it a 50? And I think it was, as awful as it is to say, that shell shock, what did I just watch and try to enjoy? Yeah.
There's certain expectations when you watch a war film, and there were a lot of slow parts in the movie. Because again... It's a one-shot movie, so the camera's literally with these people the whole entire time. There's no cut scenes, right? There's no okay, go walk however many miles you need to be
see at the end.
Get there. And they don't flash forward to a different camera that shows the generals all right, well, we're going to attack. And it literally follows the two soldiers the whole entire time. So it actually takes a while, right? And it has some slow moments. There's moments where they're just talking about stuff back home, right? And... there are plenty of moments like that, and if you're expecting just an all-out war movie, there's going to be fighting all the time, blah, 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 that's not what it is.
And I think that was one of the things that made this movie such a gem, is it wasn't just, hey, here's a bunch of explosions, and World War I was crazy, but let's watch about it. It was a journey. Yeah. You got to experience what two just regular soldiers would have. Hey, you're getting sent on a mission, you don't have a choice. Pick a guy, he doesn't have a choice. Right. And now you're going to go run through booby traps, through
wires, everything.
And you're going to experience all this, and we're going to go along with you. We're not going to leave and come back and see this is what you guys experienced. Right. We're going to experience with you. Yeah. And that was really, really cool. So if you haven't seen 1917, go give it a watch. Go be involved. It's not much of a movie one can spoil because it is just a storyline that, hey, you're gonna watch this and you're gonna experience this with us for 2 hours, and hopefully you're gonna learn something. And Warren was saying walking out, and Warren has a little bit of military background. There's no way we could deal with what they dealt with in this day.
It was a different time of war.
It was.
War now is very different. And just seeing that is just...
opens your eyes.
It's insane.
So
it's insane.
I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It's a one-off movie. Director did a wonderful job. Actors did a wonderful job. The entire crew.
Yeah.
It gets you involved. If you're looking to go learn about World War I, about the devastation, about what it might have been like back then in 1917.
Great movie.
Go watch it,
Go
guys.
see it.
90% on Rotten Tomatoes, 87 on Metacritic, 10 from me.
10?
I think it was good. I mean, it's not...
What? Okay, I thought you meant like 10 out of 100.
No, 10.
You're like 90.
No, we were going... Yeah, my apologies. 100 from me. I thought it was a good movie. It's not going to change the world as far as cinematography goes. But if you want to sit down and learn and enjoy something, this was everything it needed to be.
And it is a really cool experience to see a one-shot movie. Mm-hmm. So, go see it. If you haven't, if you have, let us know what you thought about it.
Let us know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for joining us to the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe. A lot of movie stuff headed your way. See you later.
Peace.